for exotics, and I wanted to cover a topic. I got a question about what do I do with my mature male tarantulas and some of the females that you don't see in some of my vids anymore. There's some females that I've had that the people who follow my channel, they obviously know that they haven't seen it in a while, and they ask, do I still have that particular tarantula? And some of them I do, some of them I don't, and it's very obvious because I haven't updated them in years in some cases. So I wanted to give you guys an update on what I do with my mature males. We'll talk about that first. Most of the time, with almost all my mature males, especially the ones that are kind of, you know, highly sought after ones like some of the Avix and green bottle blues, some of my Poecilotheria species. I actually have somebody that I donate my mature males to, and he's local here in town, and he's a tarantula breeder, and he sells at the expos and sells locally on the forums and Facebook pages. And I trust him. He's a good guy and communicates very well, and he's very close to me location-wise, so it's not very hard to get to him. So that's what I do. I put them in the breeding programs, and I make sure I'd rather that happen than just have them die in my collection. Now, some of them I am sentimental with, like if you just saw my mature male that survived the post-ultimate molt, I obviously couldn't give that guy away. He really meant too much to me. I saved his life, so extended his life, I should say. And also any of my first ones that I had, like my first GBB, I didn't do it. My first P Metallica male, I didn't do it. But once you get into them enough, and you know, it's not that I'm not attached to some of my other tarantulas. It's just that those were my first, and they meant a little more. I prefer to put them in breeding programs instead of just having them sit around for 6 to 8 months to a year and just slowly pass away without, you know, these animals are here for a reason. Mature males mature out for a reason, and that's for breeding. And not only that, I'm actually helping a friend, and I'm also helping the tarantula community because I'm contributing by donating a beloved animal of mine to actually breed and produce more. So when I go to the show, Reptile Expo, if I want one, obviously I can get them back most of the time with no cost at all because I helped produce that one. So if I give away and put into a breeding program one of my mature males, most likely I can actually get that one back. If the breeding is successful, I'm going to get that species back anyway, and it's still one of that animal came from my animal. So whatever species I get back, it actually came from a tarantula that I personally owned. It's that tarantula's bloodline, and that's even cooler, you know. And I'm helping again other tarantula keepers. Actually, you know, I'm actually helping them be able to get that species, you know. So that's the plus side of doing that. I also do that with my females, and there's a lot of females in my collection, like my my OBT, my S. calceatum. I just put them in breeding programs, and again, it's not because I don't like them or I'm sick of them, they're old to me. It's because I feel like they have a better chance of living a fulfilled life, and I raise them up at a certain point, you know, especially if they're burrowers and you don't see them anyway. I prefer them to go and breed. Again, I can get that same tarantula back essentially through lineage. If the breeding is successful, he'll let me know. I'll see him at the show, and I'll say, okay, yeah, I'll take one of those back. Most likely, I'm not going to have to, you know, break the bank to get my own, you know, because I helped. So there's a lot of plus side to that, and I love raising them up. And once they get to a certain age, I just, you know, I feel like I owe it to them to actually live their life the way they were supposed to be lived in the wild, meaning to breed, reproduce, and if I can help someone else doing that and help that tarantula doing that, that's what it's all about to me anyway. Is trying to give them the most fulfilled life possible, and that's including breeding. And again, it's also fun to raise up a tarantula that you know came from your tarantula. You know, it's rare that you can go and buy a sling and it's actually from your animal. And people ask, why don't I breed tarantulas in particular? I just I never ever looked at tarantulas for breeding. I've always liked them for pets and experiencing them as pets and enjoying them and all the different species. And I like to, you know, I own the S. calceatum. There's a lot of species out there, so I kind of want to dip into all the species I can get into, and I'm trying to make room in my collection to do that. and also be able to help other people along the way. So that's what I do with my mature males and a lot of my females. Obviously, I keep more of them than I give away. I haven't. The Brachypelma genus is my favorite, so I haven't put any of those in breeding programs. And those are some of the ones that I might want to breed in the future if I get males or something like that. I have given away a B. vagans male, but for the most part, the Brachy's I like those, so I haven't given those away. But there have been a few other ones that I have given away. And like I said, some of the mature males that I put in the programs was my versicolor, my Avic versicolor. I put in, like I said, the S-Cal, my Teocraty. I've put in the breeding programs, and a few other ones. Like I said, I've been doing this for years, so it's not it's worth it in the end. And when you actually can see the outcome and you see the joy on the person's face who's breeding because they finally found that missing piece and you were actually able to help, that's what it's all about. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it answered your question. And see you next time. Be you and be genuine. Take care.